Hello everyone and welcome to the new day in our Inktober Tangles challenge. Today is day 22 and we have a very tangled tangle by Theresa Fessler, who is a CZT from Germany, and she has some amazing tangles, and I also was privileged enough to look into her sketchbook while I was in Germany on a Zentangle related event recently. And let me tell you, she has a fantastic analytical brain. So I would recommend you to visit her website. I will put a link to it in the comment section, right? And I will start this tangle. I will draw it the way that she does. But what I want to do is maybe just change the deconstruction a little bit. And this is the funny thing about tangling and Zentangle, how our brains work in a different way, and sometimes something that's logical to me might not be logical to you. So if you find yourself being puzzled by my way of deconstructing it, visit Theresa's website and see what she did with it. So unlike Theresa, I started with this little triangle, and then I'm adding fescue shapes that grow from this triangle towards the sides. And then the next thing I will do is not, or maybe it is, but it's not the same sequence at least as she used. So I will draw an aura line around these fescue shapes. Oops. I think I did something wrong. I can't see why are these two... Oh, yeah. Let me fix this. I'm so sorry. I will just pretend that this mistake did not happen, because it's not like I have choice. Let's do it like this. They all need to grow in the same direction from the sides of the triangle. Obviously, I will warn you about the mistake when I edit the videos, and I will find a way to fix this. So this is where I'm at now, and you can see how these lines kind of finish here below the spoke, and I will just kind of extend it and draw a U shape that looks like an extension. And this is where I will have to improvise, because I have this little result of an oopsie. And the third one is right here. I'm going to extend it a little bit more. So this is the tangle. This is the tangle Casinoda by Theresa Fessler. I'm sorry, Theresa, and I'm sorry, everybody, that I did this little oopsie. And, you know, we are not supposed to use erasers in Zentangle. But nobody said we can't use Jelly Roll 10, right? And it's just a little touch-up to make it look right. Because I'm working on this big surface here, and I'm adding a tangle a day. When something like this happens, I can't really just, you know, take a new tile, stop the recording, and do it all over again. So this is something very real. This is why this process is cool, because it's something that actually happens in real life if you are not careful enough or focused enough, let's say. And or if you don't practice, and I never practice, I just wing it, and yeah, this is the result. Right here I want to do something to fill these gaps, and of course my trusted friend Muka is always a solution to such conundrums. I hope I use this very sophisticated word in appropriately. And I'm inking in these spaces between the tangles. And I also, before I started tangling today, I outlined the number 0 here. I wanted to actually outline both numbers, but after 0 I felt like that was enough. I need to start creating, so I will probably outline number 2 tomorrow before I start the next, working on the next video. But my Casinoda, the imperfect one, is finished now. And of course, now the only thing I need to do is shade it. And I will just, so that I don't forget, add some shades to the Muka. I will also add a smiley shape to the middle of Casinoda, where I used an orb, which is not, it's not the solution used in the deconstruction, is just embellishing the tangle. And I'm using this kind of a holy bow approach to shading of the tangle, so adding shades next to the lines where one ribbon of the tangle goes below another one. So a very Zentangle way of shading, disregarding the light source or anything else. But I think I might maybe add a little bit light source shading after I'm done with this first phase of shading. Just a small shade next to where my tangle on the left is. And now I will turn my tile like this so that I can add just some shades on these kind of bottom ends of these ribbons. And I don't need to worry about being totally consistent with it. It's always easy to determine where to place the shades when you have ribbons that are placed horizontally, but with those that are placed vertically, like this one. So if I look at it like this one is placed vertically and these are placed horizontally. With them you can either decide to do it on the right or left side and try to be consistent about it. I realized that I took again the old blending stump, but this is where I need to be a little bit more precise. So I reached for the jumbo blending stump to blend these shades that I just placed. And it's a very narrow area, and this is why I can't really add too many details. And usually when I have a narrow area like that, I typically would not go for this kind of shading at all, but I thought, okay, let's try to give it a little bit more volume than I would achieve with just holy bow shading that I started with. And now, because of the same reason, very narrow area, I'm applying my white jelly roll to the opposite side of where the shades are. So my shades are basically on the bottom part, and I'm just adding some white gel to the top part, trying not to go over all the way over to where the shaded part is, because we have this gray background. Again, I'm just mentioning it for those of you who might have not heard it before. We have a gray background, which is basically a mid-tone, which can separate the white and the dark part, or the shaded part, and the part where there are no shades. You can always come back and add another layer of white after the first one is dry. But I feel that's it. It's a cute tangle. It has lovely variations. You can maybe check out Teresa's website and see if you would like to do something else with it. But because we have, I think, 10 more tangles that we need to fit into this canvas, I will not make it big, I will not make it complicated. I think this is just enough to get to know the tangle and learn from my mistakes. I'm sorry again for the oopsie. I will issue a warning so that you know what happened and so that you don't do the same. But it's always nice to see how people deal with these things in real life and what they do, and what are the possibilities, how you can deal with those oopsies when they do happen, because it's just a question of time when they will happen. Thank you for joining with me once again, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.